evening talk is called To Kill a Parrot, and obviously it's about the Basque language. I just wanted to ask a question. Who has some basic knowledge of linguistics or grammar here? Okay, some hands. Okay, thank you. Because we talk about that. Basque is the language of the Basque country, and the language is called Euskara, and Basque country is the language, the country of Basque. Euskal Herria is country of Basque. It's related to the language more than to any other concept. And the ethnonym, that's the name we use to name ourselves, Euskaldunak, is also related, at least as I understand it, as I have learned it, to those speaking Basque, more than to but there are also modern terms for citizenship, and you can be a citizen of this place, and there are terms for that, but Euskalduna is the one that speaks Basque, literally, at least. Okay. It's an Israelite language. This is the map of the language families of Europe, and there's our corner there. Most of it is Indo-European languages, and there are Uralic languages there, Turkic, and a couple of Caucasian language families there. And to see it in another way, it's a tree of how the language families developed in Europe, at least with two main branches, the Uralic branch and the Indo-European branch. I think that in a European context, also the Turkic families and the Caucasian families also should be there, but also there is no Basque, so someone produced a new version with Basque in it. There it is. There it is, the dandelion seed. That's us. We are not even attached to the ground, because it's not only Israelite. It's a minority language. It's a minority language which is in recession. This is probably a probably map of the recession of Basque, but I don't know if it's really true. And that's a dialect map of more or less the areas where Basque has been kept active, more or less. We are in the green area, for instance. It's the Western dialect, at least the one is talked here in the town of Eibar. And this is another map. It's where the Basque-speaking live, really, actually. It's not about areas, but about populations in cities or towns. But the gradient of the green shows the probability that one Basque person has to talk with another Basque person. So there, in the cities, there are more Basque people, but meeting each other is more difficult. In the small towns, there are a small Basque population, but they speak more Basque among them. It's like a kind of curious map. The origin of Basque is not a mystery, or more or less to say. It's, we have been here. Where does Basque come from? You have come from different places. Indo-Europeans came from the steppes of whatever, Asia or what, I don't know. We were here, but it's not also ancient, that ancient, the Basque. The first Basque remains that can be attested are Aquitanian texts in some steles, but not in the Basque area, but in Occitanian area. And they're not like Basque. It's considered to be like a old relative of Basque. And really, Basque was, they have measured the degree of separation among the Basque dialects. So they have determined that like a central area of Basque diffusion was located in the area of Navarre in the beginnings of the Navarre kingdom. That's in the 6th century of the present era. So we may say that Basque was developed at the same time, more or less, that Romance languages were developed after the demise of the Roman Empire. So we are still here, okay, however, somehow. So there's a myth that Basque, it's difficult. It's not difficult. It's different. Gender is difficult in European languages. We don't have gender. Those are examples of random names of animals, which are some are feminine, some masculine, some are neutral. It makes no sense at all, because no gender need for language to work properly. Lexically, it may look strange. We remember the Basque numbers, they are kind of strange, but that's because they are unfamiliar. That's not the same as being difficult or other thing. For instance, what happens with numbers is that they are familiar to many people. These are the ordinal and cardinal numbers in the Odia language of the Bay of Bengal, which is in India, which is an Indo-European language. And you probably, if you speak Western European language, you might notice that particularly the ordinal names, Prathama, Diptiya, Tritiya, Katurtha, Panchama, Sasta, Saptama, Astama, Navama, Dasama, are very similar to Spanish, French. But it's a question of not difficulty or other things, but familiarity, I would say. And then another example, the names of the weekdays. This is an application that we developed in several languages. It's a game, it's not Plone. Compare the names of the weekdays in Welsh and Catalan. Very similar. Dilluns. And even Monday in English is the same concept, that is the day of the moon. And so they are more or less related, many languages in Europe, but then Basque, other things. Nothing with the moon or, it's, and they are even dialectal variants. The variants of Eibar will be different also even. Who knows where they come from. But some of these features are really different. We have pluripersonal verbs. European languages, more or less, we may speak for the majority of here, not all, you have one unipersonal verbs that agree, the verb agrees with the subject, and that's it. Well, a Basque verb may agree up to with 3 different grammatical cases, in number and in person even. So we have like complicated auxiliary verb tables that look complicated, but well, it's just agreement rules. For instance, Basque has no agreement rules in the noun classes, and European languages are full of strange agreement rules in the noun class, in the noun classes, and we had that in the verbs. Okay. But the most probably strange feature of Basque, as compared with European languages, I speak of European languages as a general thing, okay? It's that Basque is an ergative language, and European languages are accusative. J'accuse the European languages of being accusative. That's and now the dead parrot enters the stage. What's the gist of this? The gist of this is transitivity and intransitivity. The linguist people will know about this a little bit, at least. These verbs, to die, morir, morire, they are intransitive there, the verbs. You die by yourself, like so it's the parrot. Killing is transitive, because there's an agent of evil, the murderer. So that's to kill, matar, uccidere, in Italian, for instance. Basque just has one verb that can be used, transitively or intransitively, it. Then German has some peculiarities that, according to transitivity or intransitivity, the same lexical rot can appear. Tot is an adjective, not an adjective, sorry. That's an error. It's an intransitive adjective, and this verbal participle, getotet, it's a transitive thing. It's when someone has you, or someone, or the parrot. So let's compare the situation with the parrot. This parrot is dead, okay? And for instance, in German, der Papagei is tot. Excuse my pronunciation, but one thing I forgot is that Basque has very easy phonetics, and it's pronounced as written. So, Mikel Larreategi. Mikel Larreategi. Okay, come on. Basque is also the same, Loro Ailda. In this case, the dead parrot is the subject in these European languages. It's something similar. The dead parrot is in the absolute case. That's not because it's absolutely dead. That happens to be a coincidence. But now we enter a semantic difficulty. We are killing a parrot. And so the semantic web enters this semantic change, and something strange happens here with the European languages, because the dead parrot, it was dead here, and it's still there, right? It's still there. But somehow, the dead parrot rises from the role of subject, goes flying, pinning through the fjords, and lays down in an object accusative form. Particularly notice the German article, der, nominative parrot. It's dead, but it rises. Becomes an accusative parrot. Then, papagei. Why? It doesn't make any sense. Basque, Loroa Ilda, Loroa Ildu, Jonek. Is the agent of the action, the murderer who gets a new marking. That's the marking of the agent, that's the K-ending ergative case. And that's a very different way to organize languages. Basque is not the only ergative languages in the world. Some Caucasian languages in Europe are, and more in Asia, and other parts of the world. Oops, sorry. Okay. So, let's practice some Basque word. Kennedy, Ilda, Kennedy is dead, really. Kennedy, Ildu, Oswaldek. Oh, that's what they think. They say that Lee Harvey Oswald, with a K marking, killed Kennedy. Kennedy, Ildu Loroa. Who killed the parrot? Kennedy did. In that case, Kennedy, Ildu Loroak. The parrot killed Kennedy. Now, I turn to the future tense now. Ni il conais is, I will die. This will happen. Not just to me, but it will. The parrot will die too. Loroa il coda. What means Nick Loroa il codut? I'll kill the parrot. Nick, with an ergative case, kill the parrot. Ni loroac il conau. The parrot will kill me. And that's because we have an absolute case with zero declension, and an ergative agent case with a K ending. And by the way, that's what the OpenA image generating system created after I asked for John Fitzgerald Kennedy killing a parrot. Scary Casco, and if anyone has 1 day or 2 days for visiting Basque Country, my own particular recommendation is this place, the Salt Valley of Añana, because it's a what the fuck place, and there's no other place like it in all the world.
Okay, Jacob, please. And the next one is Lucas. You can come near here.
Which table do we design? Well, do we have an adapter? That would be
Adapter,
great.
yes, it's here.
This one, right?
Okay, Lighning.
Thank you.
So you're using this or using that?
I think those are fine. Allow accessory to connect, yes. Slideshow. Oh, that's not that helpful. Screen mirroring. This was something. What the fuck? Let's do maybe. Can we drag this here and then make it big? Okay. I have a few pictures to show, and also some music. I don't know if this might work. Next slide. Where is my cursor? Does this work now? Ah, this works. Okay, continue. So, as you might notice, or probably not, those are all pictures from the lovely city of Bonn, where we each year have a sprint, which is called the Beethoven Sprint, and that's why you just listened to Beethoven. So this is the announcement for Beethoven Sprint 2024. It will be from the 13th to the 17th of May in the city of Bonn in our lovely offices of Kid Concept. We don't have set topics yet, obviously, it's still a while till then, but I think generally we will be working on Plone 6.2 and Plone 7. And we're happy to have as many people as possible there helping at the sprint. So you actually want to come. I also have a few more pictures of Bonn that are a little bit more lovely than what I just showed before, and also some more music from Bonn, as Beethoven is from Bonn. We also have different music. That's it. This band is called the Manfreds. They are like not the best punk rock band from Bonn, but they are there. And they are great. Listen to them. That's it already.
So now Lucas, Victor is the next.
Sorry. Oh, I'm Lucas. Hello, friends. And a presentation of the Plone Gov BR for us. The Plone Gov BR have a site, plone.org.br, have many information about the activities of the community, Brazilian community. The last event, we made the Cerrado Sprint, and it's very good. This is the site, and take a video. Oh, no. Stay. Play again. Thank you.
Yeah, now it's Victor's turn. Victor, please, and the next one is Mikel. It should be John, but I think Mikel will speak from him.
Okay, arrange. No, I don't want to arrange it. No. Mirror. Okay. Yes, fine. Okay. Yeah, I want to bring you to attention that I don't know if you know it, but in Volto we also have blips. We do have blips. I want also, to tell you that the blips process works the same as for has been always in Plone. So you can write your own blip, submit it, and then the Volto team meeting will evaluate and then approve or not, and then you know all the drill about blips. You can take a look, filter by blip. There are a number of them. Some of them, we have to update them, like the teaser block and everything. I want also, to, try, see if you have something in mind that you think that it's interesting for a core, just, write this blip. I want to bring your attention to two of them, especially the first one is the modernize the client, so the data fetching in Volto. That's why we had this GSOC that Eman Chaudhry has been working on, and this is the product of it. So it's Plone.REST-API client. The package is called @Plone client. @Plone/client. It's in its alpha stages. You can try it out. It has documentation already. We'll also do a quick look at it, so you can add it anywhere. And then you initialize it. You import it, you initialize it. I don't know if it's can be seen properly, okay? And then once you have it, you can import the right query, the query function, then or the hook, and then use it right away with useQuery in this fashion. And then this will be how the component will look like, where you instantiate the client and import the thing that you want to use. This will be the get content action, the classical get content action. What will be its shape? You call the hook, and then you get the data, then you render your component. If you're interested on it, feedback are very welcome. We need people who tries out. Quickly, I have here, this is Next.js. As you can see, very bare bones of things already targeting Plone REST API, Plone instance, and is doing the routes, basic route. There are 2 objects in here. It's done with the latest version of the Next.js app router, which has all these bells and whistles, no specific XHR request is done. It's all done by the serialization that RSCs are doing. And one last thing that I also want to bring to your attention, the plips, some of them has POCs. One of it, and you can see, one of it is this one that I copied over from one thing that one feature that I liked in this study, when I did this study about headless CMS out there. So Elementor is not a headless CMS, but it's a WordPress plugin, but it does this thing, which is a navigator for the blocks that you have currently in your page, and you can have a quick overview of the blocks that are in your page. Then you can move things around in there without having to go directly, because at some, maybe it's times that the blocks are huge, and moving them in line is very cumbersome. So Storyblock also has it. Storyblock also has it, but this is one example of POCs that are made in there. You can continue working on it, and the kind of things that we have as a plip. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Now, Mikel, and the next one, Nagore and John.
Okay, this lightning talk should have been done by John, but he was too afraid to be here because he has another lightning talk then, so he transferred this to me. We have more than 300 websites based on Plone, Volto, and Django, and all of them, well, not the build-out, not the Volto ones, but managed by build-out. And last week, we saw this Plone security advisory, where Moritz kindly told us to upgrade some of the products of those build-outs to newer versions. So what to do with this? How we can know which websites should we update? So we need some help. So John built this website where we can enter Plone name file, and it says which version we have in each of our websites. And it works the same for Django projects or for Volto projects also. We can enter the version of the package, and we get in which website we get this package. And how does this work? Okay, we host most of our projects in DigitalOcean. So we have a script that calls the API and get all the project list with the IP addresses of each servers. We connect with, we do a SCP to get the bin instance or yarn log or bin Django files. We process all of them. We build a giant searchable JSON file, and we just publish the React app with the searches and everything. And everything is run by GitLab CI/CD with just pushing a button. We update the application, and everything is ready to the next security advisory. Thank you.
Now, John and Nagore, and the next one, Michael.
So, welcome to the first and last Pretty Ava Awards ceremony. Thank you everyone for your participation, and we just start showing your pictures.
Okay, my turn. John speaks, not Matt, but he speaks, Miguel. So, there's been a lot of pictures. We hoped for some. We've gotten a lot of them, so thank you again. And we have identified some common patterns in all the pictures we have received. For example, things in Eibar, like a bench, like a fountain. Eibar in the dark is another hot topic. The streets of Eibar, as well. Street of Eibar. Streets of Eibar. That was what we were looking for, Eibar, but in a pretty way. So, okay. That's another winner, which is Misty Eibar. Misty Eibar is always a winner. Yeah, Misty Eibar. Misty Eibar. Eibar kind of looks better when there's Misty. It's a reality, it's a really pretty picture. And then Eibar from the mountaintops, and Eibar in the nature. Even cows in Eibar, you'll see. Okay, so Misty Eibar and Eibar from the mountaintops are the most popular ways to immortalize Eibar. Eibar is prettier if you are far away, because it's in the valley, it has mountains, it has nature, but once you're in Eibar, you tend to take pictures of fountains, benches, and funny places. So thank you all of you. A party anecdote. Yesterday I was talking outside the party, and someone told me that he liked a lot of things about Eibar, but particularly the people and the community here, and not so much the architecture. So I think that's kind of the gist of it. You are what made Eibar pretty this whole week, so thank you very much to all of you, especially to the people who send the pictures. And now, John is going to tell us who the winner is.
Where's the picture?
There's a picture.
Where's the picture?
A picture with a blue house.
This is the picture. Why?
Demo effect.
Demo effect.
I mean, está, ¿no? Ay, algo.
This one. This one.
That picture is the winner. And we have a prize, so if you can come up here. Los hijos que se lo entregues.
There is a picture.
Quiero ser la chica siempre. Maybe. Some chacoli. Sorry, Paul. Thank you, and thank you, everybody.
Ahí, listo.
No hemos llegado.
Yeah.
Now it's Michael's turn, and then it's Kim's turn.
Cool. Let's see if I can full screen. I can't see from here. Which one's full screen? See? Thank you. So, yes, this is going to be an evangelical talk, a religious talk. I was convinced, and I hope I can, oh, where's my microphone? I was convinced I hope I can convince you too. So, based on some reading that I did, and it was back on January, February, March, April, May, June 26th of 2010, I read this book. I read this manifesto that was basically coming back and saying, you know, or as my slides say, that's a read, but if you prefer to watch YouTube and learn things, like I do and most musicians, this is really what the Town Manifesto is about, which is coming down to the fact that there's a number. And does anybody here recognize this number? Very good. And we call 2 pi tau. Say it with me, tau. Tau. And another way to say is, and tau, the Greek letter turn, but you can also say turn. 1 tau is 1 turn. This is the number that most people know, most people memorize, right? I actually was on a date, or not on a date, I was just out talking to girls, and she said, I won't go out with anybody who can mention 10 digits of pi, you know? And to which I went ahead and 3.14159265357. I think I got that wrong, because I've forgotten it by now. But yes, tau is 2 pi. Because pi is only half the story. If you only go halfway around a circle, you only get pi. There's pi radians in half a circle. There's 2 pi radians in a full circle, because we all learned this, right? Well, instead of having 2 pi, 2 pi, let's just say it's tau and be done with it. And a lot of people are like, come on, we've been using pi forever. Why do you want to go and disrupt a millennia of math? And the reason is because we're going to introduce students to trigonometry. And when do you usually get introduced to trigonometry? Let's say, what, high school, right? Let's say, you know, we're 15 years, 16 years old. How about we introduce trigonometry as soon as you understand fractions? You get fractions, next, trigonometry. Because 1 turn is 1 tau. Half turn, half tau. Third, fourth? No, this is how we teach children trigonometry today. Is that easy to understand? No, and I don't like trig. Sorry, well, that's why you don't like trig, because that's what, and I actually experimented with this. I had a stepson. He went to his trigonometry class. I said, be a troll, heckle your teacher, and ask about tau. He came back and said it didn't work out well. But this is why. It's because that is easier to teach than that. And so we come back to our basic formulas. The circumference of a circle, 2 pi r, right? Well, now it's easy. Tau r. But aha! You've made things more complicated. Because area is easy, pi r squared. You've made things more complicated. 1/2 tau r squared? Is that
1 minute.
1 minute? Well, really what you're doing is you're introducing them to calculus. You're getting them a head start on calculus. Because what does that look like? That's an integration. And you end up with 1/2 tau r squared. And you're just like, oh, well, that's too hard. It's like, well, you're doing it already. There's your physics, the falling object. There's your physics, kinetic energy. But okay, now let's go real tough, man. Euler. Can't mess with Euler. That's huge, right? No, can't mess with that guy. How about you do? He's got a negative. He only went halfway around. He ended up with a negative number. If you use tau, you come out with 1. That, I would dare say, that is more elegant than Euler. Some may tell me to shut up, though. So anyway, if you're more interested in this, you can read more, you can watch more. 3 Blue, 1 Brown if you like nerd stuff. Number File, also incredible, goes way deep into this stuff, but I'd like to convince you that pi is wrong. Tau is the answer. Thank you.
Now Kim, and the next one is Dylan.
Really, what I wanted to do is ask you simple questions for those of you who are Plone providers. Do you want customers? Boy, that layout is really crappy. Do you want glory? Yes. Do you want to help Plone? Help Plone help you. Get your Plone provider listing today. It's pretty easy, plone.org/providers. And if you scroll down, you'll be able to click on a link and ask for a Plone provider listing. So please do that. If you're not there, it's pretty sad.
Okay, Dylan, the next one is Philip.
Why is it not doing it? Okay. Okay. If you don't know me, my name is Dylan J. In 2014, I moved from Sydney, Australia to Bangkok. And I didn't know anyone. Well, I knew Gene Jordan from the Plone community. This is always a good tip. If you want to go and visit a new city, look up who the Plone people are, say hello, have a beer. So I knew John way before I moved to Bangkok, but that's all I knew. So what I did was I started a meetup. This is a great way to meet people, and these are the best kind of people. Python people are really good people. I don't know if you noticed. So we're up to 96 now, 96 meetups. That was a long time ago. We have fun, we have free pizza, we have beer, we have 2 talks each time, a bunch of different places. We have cool visitors sometimes who come by Bangkok and give talks. So if everyone wants to give a talk, I don't know if anyone, this is Miko, giving a talk on our 3rd meetup. Sometimes I give a talk, not that often. There is also a PyCon in Thailand this December. So if you want a reason to come to Thailand, then this is a reason. I mean, the other reason is perhaps that this is probably the only PyCon where you can legally smoke marijuana. But yes, the best people. By the way, I am going to show code. There will be code at the end of this presentation. Okay, so how many people here have been to a Python meetup? Okay, how many people currently live in a town that does not have an active Python meetup? Okay, this is my part of my talk. So build it and they will come. You will be surprised how many people are out there doing Python, students, other things. You may think you are in a place that has no other Python people. You are the only Python person in the village. You are wrong. So what do you have to do to create a meetup? You need venues. That's normally not so hard, right? I mean, we had Atlassian, we have Agoda, they give us pizza, they give us beer. It's maybe a smaller place, there'll be something. You do co-working spaces. Anyone who is interested in recruitment will, recruiting developers will probably help you. How do you get speakers? That's the next thing you have to do. So the trick to that is that when you have a meetup, you go to the pub afterwards, which is a really good idea because it's really about the people, it's not about the talks. And then you get them drunk and then you twist their arms and get them to agree to give a talk next time. One trick I learned is that you should have 3 talks or 2 talks. If you have shorter talks, it's much easier to convince someone to give a talk if it's a short talk. And if you have 2 talks, you will get more people come because you've got double the different topics. Okay, so the Python Foundation now pays for meetups. Meetup costs money. It's still the best place. Like if you create a meetup on meetup.com, there are other ways of having meetups. You don't have to be on meetup.com. But if you are on meetup.com, people will also come, right? It does bring in people, and Python Foundation now pays for that. But you need a code of conduct, which is cool. We didn't have one. I can do that. But I needed a website to put the code of conduct on. And so I did GitHub pages, and that was Jekyll. And I felt a little dirty after I did that because Jekyll's made in Ruby. So what I had to do is write a little bit of Python. This counts down. I couldn't be bothered switching tabs, but this counts down. It's Python. This is PyScript. How many people know about PyScript? A few? So, I mean, Python has been, there's a lot of Python in the browser for a long time, right? We have Brython and what does Anvil use? Something else. And they're all transcoders and stuff. This is different. And this is, I think, officially supported distribution now. What's different about this is that PyScript and Pyadine, which is built on, is using WebAssembly and it is full Python. It is, all the other Python attempts will be partial. They never quite could keep up. They didn't have all the things. This has everything, pretty much, right? Like obviously, you know, not unsafe things. You can import third-party libraries, and it will import them for you. The only downside is because it's WebAssembly, it will take a little bit longer to load, right? So it's not going to be good for things that you know you want instantly to appear, right? But it lets you have full Python. So that's cool. That was it. Cool.
So, yeah, Eriko said I can have a beer if I do something that's of use to him. So I did something that's of use to him, I hope. I hope it works, so it's a live demo. So this is a Plone site I just created. It's classic, it works in Volto too, but I just created in classic. So I'm gonna export the whole Plone site and save each item as a separate file on the server. There's nothing here yet. So now, I hope this works. Okay, it exported all the items in this here in a folder called Plone. That's everything. Yeah, you see that? So yeah, that's only half of it. Yeah. Now I'm gonna move this folder into import. I'm gonna nuke my site. Delete it. Create a new site. Important that the language is the same, obviously, because all the data is validated on import. Also, I don't want the default content, so I'm going to delete that quickly. So then I go to import content. This is like default. This is just export import. Nothing written on top of that except for the new feature. And here is a new select where you can select a directory in one of the valid import places, and I'm going to pick this one. And important in this case is existing items, because the Plone site itself is a dexterity object starting with Plone 6. So, and I want it to be updated also because it says I want my beer. And so when I click here, it still says, Erika, I want my beer. And yeah, all the items are there, and so that's the full demo. Can I get my beer now, Erika? Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, let me. That's not Eibar, but that's a nice view of the Basque Country. Okay. In the first version of the schedule we published, I was very, very optimistic and sent 2 tag proposals, which I myself approved. But later, with all the proposals that came at the last minute, I decided to cancel. And I decided to do this Lightning talk to fastly explain what I was going to explain in those talks. Moreover, I owed some guy here in the audience a talk, because I told him I will present a Lightning talk instead of the talk. So one of the talks I was going to give together with Mauro, who is, I don't know who is, yeah, over there, is about OpenID Connect. You may know this. It is a thin layer of identification built on top of OAuth. Perhaps I missed some concepts here. It's not a layer of identification. Perhaps it's something else, but yeah, it works. And using this plugin created by Mauro Amico, it's quite easy to integrate it with an OIDC-enabled provider. Perhaps you may remember that some time ago I published a blog post in our blog at codesyntax.com explaining how we had configured Plone site to enable our own CodeSyntax users with our Google Workspace emails to log in one of our client sites in order to fix what they break. And I used this plugin to do it. But it doesn't work only with Google Workspace. It works with many other OIDC-enabled providers, such as Keycloak, for instance. It's an open-source identity management server, and it works also with EU-Login. It's an European Commission-based authentication service. More or less, OIDC works like OAuth. You click a link, you are redirected to the provider, you identify there, then the user comes back to the site. There's an internal connection to the provider to check that really you are the user that has identified, and then you create the user in Plone, grant the group membership, and you are logged in. We have it in production in 2 scenarios. One is in one of our client sites in order to not to add our own users with our own passwords and so there. And the other one is used in a general user login, as a general user login in a EU official website. The second thing is that, well, it's not directly related to this, but I play chess. Someone here knows already that I play chess. One of the best places to play online chess is Lichess. It's an open source chess server. It's free, it has no ads, no tracking, no nothing. And to have an idea, there were more than 93 million games just last month. Okay? They have everything published, all the code, all the mobile application, the games, the puzzles, everything. So what happened with this? I wanted to translate Lichess to Basque because, we are just 500 chess players in Basque Country, 100 of them speak Basque, so I need Lichess translated into Basque. I saw that Lichess used crowding to handle translations, and crowding handles pull requests to the main code. Therefore, it's really easy, so I thought that perhaps we can do the same for Plone. I know that in the past there were some efforts using Transifex to do that, but they didn't go further. But I think that a web-based tool to do the translations is a way to get more people to translate without needing to know how to do pull requests or commits or git push or whatever. We are coaching us using Weblate to handle translations for some of our clients' projects. So I tried to configure the Plone app locals package there. It was successful. There were some merge conflicts and things like that, but Bicho, my colleague, showed me how to fix them. So perhaps I will work on this in the coming months, try to get the Plone translations in Weblate. I don't know if we will host our own Weblate because Weblate is an open source, or we can use the free tier of their managed service because they offer it for free for open source projects. So let's see if we can do something with this and get more people translating Plone and Volto and every add-on we have. We will prepare proper documentation in order to integrate this in any add-on that you will. So thank you, that's all. So this was the last Lighning talk. So I think that we should do a proper ending for the conference. I don't know if Erico has something prepared. No, Erico has already stepped down as a foundation president, so you are out. Okay, you can go if you want.
Enjoying retirement.
So let me mirror. Yeah. Okay, so I just want to tell you the story of this Plone Conference 2023. This conference started in Bonn in the Beethoven Sprint in 2022, where John and me attended. I want to invite everyone to go to the 2024 edition because this guy here prepares a very good coffee, although he doesn't drink coffee, but he's the official coffee maker of the Beethoven Sprint. Thank you, Jakob. Well, the point is that the last day of the sprint, after the last dinner, with the last beer on our hands, these two serious guys approached us and they told us, you are going to organize the next conference, right? we were puzzled. These two guys were there also, and they said, "Oh, I know the feeling." Then I had some story with a postcard that I wrote and signed and give it to this guy who sent it back by Deutsche Mail. And we end up organizing this conference. It was a really great conference, I think. That's what we think, what we see, and what you have told us. So thank you, everyone. These are the people who have made the conference possible. Our gang of code syntax. And I don't want to forget all the sponsors and the ones that who have helped us, especially the Eibar City Council, but also UEU for allowing us to use the Palace for trainings and sprints, Gipuzkoa Provincial Council and Basque Government for the support, and also to all of our sponsors, Red Turtle, Jakarta, 6 Feet Up, Nuclea, CityClick, Interactive, Kid Concept, Chest, Starcell, Eventis, Combinat, and P76. Thank you also for the Foundation for their continued support during the progress meetings we had with Kim, Riku-Pekka, Martin, and Eriko. Thank you also to Ikusten, Oscar, and Fran, and their colleagues are over there for the recordings and the live streaming of the event. Juan Luis and Manolo also, the technicians at this venue. And maybe I will kill some of your languages, not a parrot, but some of your languages. But eskerrik asko, muchas gracias, moltes gràcies, thank you, merci beaucoup, danke, grazie mille, obrigado, multumiri, bedan, kitos, and I don't know Japanese, sorry. Arigato, eskerrik asko guzti hori. So that's all on our part. Hope to see you tomorrow at 9, from 9 on in the Market Square Palace in the sprints. It's the same venue as the training, so you know the way there. And we will be there to improve Plone. Thank you.